R.I.P. Boone, who fried to death. All ideas, welcome to my next Petty Polly event.
So it did stop the meltdown.
A moment of silence. Oh no. Be warned, it's LuAnna, and this podcast contains honest, upfront opinions of rants, bants, and general explicit content. But you're here, and you know you love it, you sexy little motherfuckers.
Do you know what, guys? We flipping love you. Happy Thursday to you. This, of course, is your episode. It's the bonus, and you know what? You always deliver. It's LuAnna, totally extra. Who are you?
Louisa.
Who am I? I'm Anna. And who are you over there?
Imogen.
Also, I had a really nice guy come up to me and say how much he loved the pod. And I was like, again, another straight guy.
It's really, really
loving
nice.
it. Yeah. So welcome. If you're a straight man fan, you are like the new demographic to our fold. And we are loving it.
It's normally women and the gays. And we welcome everybody, obviously.
We do, but I just love the fact that the straight men are here.
Thanks, guys. Well, welcome. They're finding out lots about women. We have that.
Saying something really rude.
You're so naughty. But we like to educate by the way of you. So let's just crack on in with your extra chat, rants, confession stories. First up, a message from Nadia, and she says, "Hi, LuAnna. I'm loving the pod. I'm a new listener. Welcome." I just gave a jazz hands, flitting between new and old eps, but I had to send this in.
She is going back and listening, as you can do.
You can. Well done, Louise. I'm so proud of you for saying that.
Thank you.
So, don't forget you can binge listen whilst you're on your holidays by the swimming pool.
Listen get the earphones in now. It's summer holidays.
If you're up to date, go back to the beginning and start listening again. Yeah. We've got thousands of these. So I work in a pharmacy, she says, and we had this young male pharmacy student on work experience, bless him. One day an old lady comes in and quietly whispers her request to him. I couldn't hear what she'd asked but he confidently goes, "Yes, no problem," and off he goes. Aww. Good lad. Next thing I see, he's walking her over to the jam aisle, giving her a full-scale pitch on diabetic jams. He's going on about all the flavours, how they're sugar-free, great for diabetics, and she's just staring at him, absolutely baffled. He's so into it, he picks up the strawberry jam to show her up close, thinking she just can't decide which one to get. She tries to repeat herself quietly and he still doesn't get it. He just keeps chatting away about jam, getting frustrated because she's not listening. Eventually, he comes over to me all flustered and I ask the lady how I can help. She leans in and goes, "I don't want to make it so obvious, but I'm asking for KY jelly and this man is showing me
he's
jam."
a little innocent.
Oh, Joe, this is too cute. I nearly died, trying not to laugh, apologised and took her to the lube section while he turned bright red. Later, he kept saying, "I thought she was using the American term jelly instead of jam."
Because she didn't say lube.
And also, he's been watching far too much American YouTube.
Yeah.
Safe to say, he never offered to help in that. No need to keep me anonymous. Nadia from Manchester, keep on doing what you're doing. Oh, good for him, though. Brilliant. Bless his heart.
Jelly. Well, to be fair, you'd say lube. Would you ask for KY jelly or lube? It's because she was older.
It's because she's
gone
older.
for the classic.
And he wasn't to know.
The OG lube, the old KY.
Did I ever say to you about when I did a work experience at doctor's surgery with my mum was one of the medical secretaries and I was trained on the reception thing, the morning rush at 8 a.m. And I was just trained that if anyone comes in wanting a smear test, you had to check where they were in their cycle. So if I was booking them, so I always had to be trained. If you're booking for smear, it's obviously routine for most people, ask when the last cycle is to do it. So then this lady comes in, she's like, "I'm booking in for my smear." I was like, "Oh, when's your last cycle?" And she was like, I hadn't realised, she was like in her 80s. She was like, "I haven't had a period in 30 years, dear." I remember thinking,
40 years
and I felt
ago.
so embarrassed. But you know what? It taught me. It's taught me.
But also,
vigilant.
She might, you never know with people looking younger and older.
Well, I also probably didn't know at 15 that if people stopped having periods, if I'm completely honest.
Right, we've got a voice note from Stacey next.
Hi girls, love the pod and all that jazz. I was listening to the pod last week about life hacks and about the lady who said when their child is having a meltdown to say, "Oh, what's that smell?" My 4-year-old daughter is very fond of a meltdown. So I tried it. So we were by the swimming pool, her brother was swimming. Yeah. She was sitting on my lap having a meltdown. And I said, "Oh, what's that smell?" To which she replied at the top of her voice, "Your vagina." So it did stop the meltdown, but every single other parent was staring at me at the side of the pool. So I don't think I'm going to try it again. No need to keep me anonymous. I am Stacey from Bromsgrove.
Do you know what's good? That is
one.
a good life hack because you say, what's that smell? And they breathe in. And it reminded me, Clemmy was having a little meltdown the other day. And I said to her, just breathe. And then she held up her little hand and her tiny little finger. She's so cute. And she went,
oh, the finger one, yeah.
And every time she took a breath, she ran up her finger and then out, down her finger. And I went, that's so clever. Who taught you that?
School.
She said, Miss Carmen.
Yeah, it's a school,
and
it's a school technique.
Like, that's so cute.
Yeah, it's a brilliant technique.
I love Miss Carmen.
It's a nice calming
and then
technique.
She kept doing her little up, down, and her breathing. Very cute.
Love that.
Right.
Talking to kids.
Kids do the funniest things from Jade. She says, good morning, beautiful ladies. I have one for the stupid things kids say category, except this time it's not something he said. It's what he did.
Oh, no.
And it wasn't a cute, clueless toddler moment. Oh, no, this came from my lovable but dopey 12-year-old son. Now, let me set the scene. My boy is sports mad. Football, rugby, athletics, you name it. If it involves a ball or running around, he's in it. The kid eats like a linebacker, constantly fueling his muscles, aka raiding my kitchen like a raccoon in a bin.
This is good.
Healthy, yeah. So one day he comes home beaming with pride. Mum, I've been picked to do athletics all day tomorrow with the year above.
Go on, boy.
Brilliant, right?
Yeah.
This lad is going places. I'm already picturing the Olympic gold medals, Premier League contracts, and of course the inevitable Cheers Mum mansion that he's going to buy me. So I set about making him the most nourishing protein-packed lunch I can imagine. I'm talking chef's kiss level. Fresh soft bread, a 3-tier roast beef sandwich, lovingly slathered in Lurpak and his favourite sauce, lettuce, snacks galore for the energy, water, banana, the absolute works. And I tell him, your sandwich is in the fridge wrapped in foil. Don't forget it in the morning. The next day I'm at work, I get a little text update from him about how athletics is going. And then buzz, Mum, I bought some raw meat instead of my sandwich. What? It turns out, also in the fridge that day, were 3 raw pork chops defrosting for me and his dad's dinner.
Oh, no.
My darling son, in his usual whirlwind fashion, grabbed the wrong full package without checking and ended up walking around with raw pork in his backpack all day in 29-degree heat. I laughed so hard I nearly got escorted out the office. When I got home, I cackled the minute I laid eyes on him. There he was, unbothered, casually saying, don't worry, Mum, I brought them back so you can still have them for dinner. No thanks, mate. I'd rather not risk a family-wide pork-induced food poisoning incident. We're having Jackie Peas tonight. But I recognise the consideration he committed by keeping hold of the decaying raw meat in his bag for 3 hours of his day. The best part, despite surviving the whole day without the main course masterpiece of the sandwich I'd made, the kid only went and came first in a 100-metre sprint race. Absolute legend. He's dopey, but he's fast.
Good lad.
Moral of the story, never underestimate a hungry 12-year-old running on only blind optimism. Thank you so much for all the laughter you infect us all with. After a long and serious day at work in a women's refuge, gosh, for domestic abuse, I always look forward to listening to you guys and your light-hearted fun to ground me again. Never stop doing what you do. It means more than you know. Oh, thank you, lovely Jade from Bedfordshire.
Thank you, darling. That's lovely. And well done for the work you do. And that sandwich, quite honestly, I really want that bloody sandwich now.
Hungry, aren't you?
I really am. Nice roast beef, 3-tier. With a bit of horseradish. Delish. Right, voice note rant from James.
Hi, girls. It's a live rant coming in. I've just left the gym, and every time I leave the gym, I like to go and wash my hands, make sure they're nice and clean before I leave, because, you know, sweaty gym equipment. And probably for about the 5th or 6th time in the past few months, I've witnessed someone having a shit in the toilet. I know they're having a shit because I can fucking hear it and smell it. They leave the cubicle and just walk out. Like, they leave the cubicle after just having a shit and just walk out like it's completely fucking normal, and then go and use the gym equipment that everyone else is using and not wiping down after themselves, because they aren't fucking washing their hands, are they? So they're definitely not wiping down their fucking equipment.
So
dirty bastards.
E. coli
What is
everywhere.
wrong with straight men?
Yeah, disgusting.
Straight men.
Wash
the straight men thing. I love that. What's wrong with straight men?
Just straight
Dirty
bashing
straight
now.
men.
Straight bashing. Right, message from Anonymous. So, Emmeline, hi girls, Anna, Louisa and Emmo. First time writing in, but a long time listener. Thank you, darling. I absolutely adore you girls, and honestly having you three in my ears twice a week is such a treat. And I know it might sound a bit silly, but truly it's like the comfort of old friends.
Aww.
It doesn't sound silly at all. It's an honour. I have a lovely husband and 2 children who are 2 and 4. We have a very comfortable and happy life, and most of what we do revolves around the kids. Since our second, my husband and I have just drifted apart. Nothing has happened. We don't really argue, apart from the usual stuff, but nothing that causes major upset or hurt. And we do get along really well, and we do still love each other, but it's so hard to stay connected when you're so busy caring for small children.
Mm-hmm.
It's so hard to know how much of it is normal. I know this is impossible for you to answer, as you don't know us or our relationship, but you are both sort of coming out of the other side of having small children that take up all of your time, and I'm just so keen to hear your thoughts. I love my husband, I really do. He is a good man, and he's very straightforward and black and white. And when I try and speak to him and say we don't have much of a sex life, etc., he is just very black and white about it and says we're absolutely fine. It's just the stage in our relationship where we are all about the kids, which I do agree with, but I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too much into it, but sometimes, honestly, I think to myself, is this it? Can losing your spark be situational? Or once you start to drift, is that it? Worth mentioning, we do have occasional date nights, but you can sometimes feel a bit pressured, like here's your moment, have a good time. Whereas obviously pre-kids, we do stuff all the time and it was spontaneous and fun. Anyway, I'm not sure what I'm really looking for, but if you can offer any advice on keeping your relationship going when you have small children, that would be amazing. Or anything you think of when you reflect on your relationships when your children were similar age to ours, either i.e. preschool. Anyway, granny name, love you girls, keep up the great work.
Oh, I think it's really normal. And I do think that you are so in the thick of it. Life just passes you by and you do forget to connect. Obviously, I'm like Clemmy's 8 this year, my youngest, and I'm well out of that stage now and I'd never want to be back in it. But I think that, you know, you do have to make time for each other, but equally it's so easy to say, oh, you've got to make time for each other. But it's fucking hard to do that when you're in the thick of it and you've got 2 kids and you're trying to manage life and stuff. And I honestly believe that it's very normal at your kid's age to go through this just monotonous living life and kind of survival mode with the kids. And I think that a lot of people do go through that unless they're lucky enough not like to have a lot of help. But, you know, even I've had a lot of help and we've gone through those stages. And I have to say, you do come out the other side of it because you get so much more freedom the older your kids get. Even the fact now that mine get themselves up in the morning, and if it's a weekend, we can just stay in bed if we want and have a lie-in because they're more than able to go and turn a telly on and get themselves some food and get themselves some drink, and they don't really argue that much. And, you know, we're just... everything does get easier as they get older. It really does.
The trenches are hard. And let me tell you now, reassure you, it is so normal. So normal, in fact. And here we are. I've done this for a while, Lou. I wrote a whole coaching plan on it. It's called
here we go.
The Couples
The
with Kids
Relationship
Plan.
Place.
Yep, so just go to therelationshipplace.co.uk and I have a whole hour of advice and techniques and strategies and catharsism with the Couples with Kids plans. Just go to therelationshipplace.co.uk, click on plans, access the Couples with Kids plan, and let me tell you now, I wrote it for you and everybody else that goes through this. And look, there really is light at the end of the tunnel. Drop me a DM if you need any extra advice on it.
And it's very, very normal. It really, really is. It really is. And you do just have to kind of ride that out a bit, I think.
Sounds like your relationship is good because
it sounds like you have a pretty
it.
solid relationship.
But you're just you're in the trenches a bit.
You
still.
do get in that boring stage, and you think, "Why the fuck do we have these kids?" And then you come out the other side, and then it's fun.
I've got a whole session on sex, basically, and how to try and get that sex back into your sex life if you feel it's important. So just go and have a go on that, and quite literally, and let me know what you think.
We've got a petty Polly now from Anonymous. We've called you Mavis. Mavis says, one of my close friends and I help each other out with school drop-offs, and occasionally I collect her children too. She's lovely. I'd go out of my way for her. Unfortunately, her partner is a narcissistic nightmare, rude, self-absorbed and completely lacking in common decency. He snaps at me, never says thank you, and once left his children at my house while I watched him wash his beloved car. He honestly puts his kids very low down the pecking order of his priorities, but to people who don't know him, he portrays he's the doting father. Anyway, when I finally called him out on his behaviour, true to form, he flipped it on me and blamed my attitude. Classic narcissist. So now, in order to make any interaction remotely tolerable, I engage in a little petty Polly behaviour just to amuse myself. One day while they were out, I took all the tyre pressure caps off his car tyres because I knew it would wind him up. He also refuses to wear a coat no matter the weather. So on rainy days, I take my sweet time opening the door, knowing he'll be left standing in the pissing rain getting wet. I reply with a sweet, "Oh, sorry, I didn't not hear you knock." The kids were being loud, internal inner laugh. My latest move, kicking the stones from his driveway onto the grass. I know he obsesses over them being perfectly tidy. The satisfaction of watching him on my Ring doorbell, picking them up off his lawn, or even better, imagining one jamming up his lawnmower, is honestly delightful.
Oh, mate.
They're away on holiday soon and my mind is on overdrive to think of ways to fuck him off. I will add that I never do anything that might anger my friend.
Aww.
I think deep down she thinks he's a bellend too.
Yeah.
All I do is welcome to my next Petty Polly event. Big love always. Anyway, please call me Mavis and I'm from Wolverhampton.
I was thinking maybe next time he's washing his beloved car, just kind of somehow intercept the hose pipe or block up the water supply.
Or march his kids, like get his kids to accidentally stand in dog shit. So they then traipse it all on the drive, the lawn, through the house. Mind you, it'll be the woman that ends up cleaning it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You need something that's going to mildly inconvenience him, not her.
him.
Well, keep thinking. In fact, our Facebook group, I'm sure we'll have some lovely suggestions. So just hop on over to our Facebook group, Everything LuAnna Official. Next one, a voice note from Laura.
Morning, girls. So just listening to your podcast on the keepsakes, which I also have the usual selection, but I thought I'd let you know about my sister-in-law and what she's kept of my nephews. So he's only 3, hasn't lost any teeth yet, but he obviously his hair. But not only does she keep his hair, but she takes a bucket to the barbers every time he goes, and all of the hair that comes off goes into the bucket.
Oh, wow.
She has his umbilical cord, but then she also has a collection of his urine. She has his first poo that he did in his nappy, and God knows whatever else. So yeah, I think that could probably beat most people's in terms of keepsake collections. And don't ask me what I think she's going to do with them, because I have absolutely no idea. My name's Laura. Keep up the good work. Love you all. Bye.
I'm shocked.
Well, it must stink, her keepsake box. That's rank.
I mean, that definitely tops all of them.
That's disgusting.
Wow.
Right, let's move on to Muriel. She says, "Hey, LuAnna May, please keep me in on and give me your best granny name. Long time listener. This is my first message. We're getting a lot of those recently.
Woo, well done, guys.
Absolutely love the pod. You guys have kept me sane through some tough days of homesickness after moving to Australia." Following Monday's pod and Louisa's rant about keepsake,
This really did cut through, actually.
I wanted to let you know about what my mother-in-law has kept all these years. She has kept my fiance's foreskin and decided to show it to me the first time I met her. Now, that's something I never thought would happen when meeting the in-laws for the first time, but it obviously didn't put me off, and I have to thank her because at least I don't have to deal with smegma.
That is true, actually. Every cloud. Right, confession time. I've never told anyone this, but settle in. First up, Lillian. Hi, Louisa and Anna. I'm a new listener from across the pond, and I'm loving the pod. Loads of newbies. Thank you, guys. Welcome along, and of course, our OGs. Please do give me the honour of assigning me a granny name. A few years ago, I was the part of a volunteer organisation and had just taken on a small leadership role. One week, we were meeting at a different community centre than usual, and I'd never been to that location before. The building had multiple conference rooms and events going on. So when I saw that the parking lot was full, I figured something else must have been happening at the same time. As I got out of my car, 2 women waved me over. I assumed they were part of my group. So I smiled and walked up, trying to be friendly and approachable. They were warm and chatty. And when I mentioned it was my first time at that location, they told me they'd been before and encouraged me to come in with them. They commented that I looked dressed up, which was odd because members of our organisation tend to look polished, but I brushed it off. They led me into a room and pointed to a seat. I was exhausted as I'd just finished my PhD and was running on fumes. So I sat down without thinking much of it. A few seconds passed before I realised I was sitting in a circle and a man had just started giving a very heartfelt testimony. That's when it hit me. I was in an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. Now, I have
What
nothing
do
but
you do?
respect for the
I would
organisation.
just sit there and style it out.
I'd
I
have
would
to style
start
it out.
contributing.
I would have to style
like,
it out.
Hi, my name's
Then-
Louisa,
and
and
I-
I've been.
Yeah, I have an issue.
Yeah.
I'm here today. She says, I've nothing but respect for the organisation, but it was very much not where I was supposed to be. My volunteer group must have been meeting in a different room. Meanwhile, the women who brought me in were smiling and giving me encouraging thumbs up, like I belonged there. So I started to panic. Oh no, she's going to do it, Lou!
She's gonna do
And
it.
then the speaker finished and everyone looked at me.
This is what you do.
This is-
It's like that guy, that African driver, and ended
the
up on the
news.
BBC News.
Just styled it out. In the wrong place at the wrong time, you just style it out. Apparently, she says it was my turn. Instead of calmly explaining or quietly slipping out, I blurted, I'm sorry! And I just bolted out of the room. To make things worse,
So she didn't do what we do.
She didn't do what we do. I ran straight into someone I knew from the actual meeting I was supposed to attend. I was completely flustered throughout my meeting. I mean, I'd just absolutely owned it. To make matters worse, my volunteer organisation's members tend to get, you know what's going to happen, tend to get together for drinks sometimes. And I almost made a joke to the two women about how I hoped there would be wine tonight. Imagine if I'd actually said to two recovering alcoholics who thought I was in the same boat. To this day, I still think about it and physically cringe. I imagine those poor people hoping I got the support I needed. I didn't. Just a lifetime of secondhand embarrassment and a newfound fear of community centres. Thanks for the laughs and thanks for making me feel a little lighter. Oh, bless you. Looking forward to hearing what granny name you assign me. Granny from Florida. I mean,
Well,
this
Imo
can't-
didn't give you a name.
I did.
At the top. At the top we
Lillian.
had it. What was it? Lillian or something?
Lillian.
Lillian,
Lillian, there
yeah.
you go. That's brilliant. I would have just pretended I was an alcoholic.
That must have happened to so many people. I'm sure.
I'd actually love it if that happened to me. I'd be like,
You would
"Hi,
just style it out, wouldn't you?
I'd change my name.
I think I would probably style
My
it out
name's
too.
Elena. And
I think my people pleasing would get the better of me and I just wouldn't want anyone to feel bad. So I would just style it out quickly.
bye.
You've been watching LuAnna the podcast.
What do they need to do, Anna?
Make sure you subscribe.
Boom.